What's going on, family? I am very excited today because I will be checking out another new artist that I am not too familiar with in Paloma. From what I have been told, this was the overall women's anthem of last year. And so I felt like there was a lot of power in that statement. So I felt like it was worth checking out. So let's go ahead and get into her song, Labor.
1, 2, 3.
Why are you hanging on so tight to the rope that I'm hanging from? Off this island, this was an escape plan. Carefully timed it, so let me go and dive into the waves below. Who tends the orchards? Who fixes up the gables? Emotional torture from the heady high table. Who fetches the water from the Rocky Mountain spring and walk back down again to feel your words and their sharp sting? And I'm getting fucking tired. The capillaries in my eyes are bursting. If all love died, would that be the worst thing? For somebody I thought was my savior, sure make me do a whole lot of labor. The kind of skin in my hands is cracking. The ends, would that be a bad thing? And the silence haunts a bedchamber. You make me do too much labor.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You guys said this was an anthem and you were not lying. I don't know, guys. Maybe it's because I was just coming off of Sophia Izella and her music is just so much more of a very sobering feeling when you listen to it, that I was kind of expecting the same thing, because the suggestion I got for this song was off of one of my reactions for her. So I kind of figured it was going to kind of be very much in the similar overall subject matter. And it is, but definitely in a lot more of an upbeat, more, like you said, anthem factor. If there's one thing that I am drawn to the most in music, is when you can feel the real within the song. And that's exactly what I take away from this song. She kind of paints this overall picture of the beginning and the overall story of the relationship. Starts off the whole thing with why are you hanging on so tight to the rope that I'm hanging off of? What a way to start an intro to a story like this. And then when she's getting to the chorus, when she's talking about for somebody I thought was my savior, you sure seem to make me do a whole lot of labor. Oh my God, that's fire! A lot of times women will kind of put us men into those positions where we're kind of their knight in shining armor, if you will. I'm only saying that because I've had somebody specifically kind of even express this to me, where I look at you like that, and it's one of those things where it's not healthy. You shouldn't do that to somebody else, right? But at the same time, when you fall in love, it's the same thing when how we feel about girls too, right? And the same reciprocation is when you fall in love with anybody, you get infatuated with them. They can do no wrong in the beginning. It's called the puppy love phase. You know what I'm saying? Where it's all the little annoying things that anything else would bother you about them, you kind of let it all go. You kind of put them on a pedestal, for you will. And then over time, in a healthy, reasonable amount of time, you start lowering that pedestal and you start becoming people again, and you start seeing people for who they are. And you don't put them as a trophy anymore. You don't raise them up anymore. You don't treat them like a savior. For her to say that I treated you like a savior, but yet who tends to the orchards? Who does this? Who does that? Who's literally doing everything? You're holding on to a rope that I don't even want in this relationship anymore, and you're holding on to it, basically making me feel like I can't leave, and it's all feeling like work now. The love is feeling like work now.
Too much labor. Apologies for my tongue.
Her voice is beautiful too.
Busy lapping from flowing cup and stabbing with your fork. I know you're a smart man, and weaponize the false incompetence. It's dominance under a guy. If we had a daughter, I'd watch and could not save her. The emotional torture from the head of your high table. She'd do what you taught her. is a bursting. If our love died, would that be the worst thing? For somebody I thought was my savior, you sure make me do a whole lot of labor. The callous skin on my hands is cracking. If our love ends, would that be a bad thing? And the silence once I bed chamber, you make me do too much labor. All day, every day, therapist, mother maid, nymph, then a virgin, nurse, then a servant, just an
Okay, here we go again. Here we go again. Talking about all the stereotypes that, like, guys will put these women into. Like, you gotta be all of them. You gotta be a virgin, but you also gotta be slutty at the same time. You gotta be skinny, but you're not too skinny. You gotta be, you know, and you gotta have enough curves, though, at the same time. You gotta also be a mother figure. You gotta have all these different things, and you just gotta be whatever. That's in your mind as the man. Like, you just gotta be whatever to you. And I gotta change all these different things. Oh my God. Oh my God. I know all the guys out there are going to kill me because I always sit here and talk about all these things that basically the women are saying. But that's the thing, guys. It's like they're over here telling us that this is the general stereotypes, that this is the stuff that they run into more frequently than not. Why did somebody tell me that this was the woman's anthem? Because there's probably a lot of women out there that feel like this. This is like one of those things, like when you break up with somebody and you feel good about it, like you feel like you're released. If our love was to end, would it really be a bad thing? This is the anthem for that. This is like that moving on, like things are going to be better because you deserve better. You deserve to be with somebody that treats you better, that treats you more as a partner, that doesn't expect you to be all these different things. That's what anybody, I think, really wants at the end of the day. It's just we as men are the ones who are more demanding and picky and choosy of that than I think a lot of women are. And we chastise women for holding us to a standard. You know, we get mad at them for saying, like, you know, that, you know, obviously guys that, like, you know, when girls say stuff like, oh, if they're not under 6 feet and they don't make $175,000 a year, I would never date them. Come on, you know, that's like us saying that, like, you know, if she's not a supermodel and she don't, I don't know, cook, clean, blah, 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 be my mom, all these things that they're talking about, like, you know, I'll never see her either. I've been really loving these female anthems. I'm so glad you ladies keep telling me to check them out. You know, I'm so glad that I have some supportive ladies on my channel that want to see me talk about these lady songs because I find these ones like so much more fun. I don't get a chance to talk about a lot of stuff like this, so I really enjoy the chance to kind of hopefully show a little bit of support for the ladies out there, you know, especially from a guy's perspective. You know what I mean? Because there's women out there that support you guys, obviously, because you guys are women. But there's not a lot of guys out there just actively trying to, you know, really just support women in general and what they're trying to do. And like I said, at the end of the day, when I listen to artists, when I listen to writers and storytellers of any kind of nature, I take them for their word at their storytelling. Like you wouldn't feel so strongly about something and enough to write about it if it wasn't true. And when there's so much consistency amongst the female artists and the female perspective of writing about stuff like this, it's really almost all of them, guys. It really is. When you kind of dig into it, they all kind of talk about those same subject matters. And all the guys, they write about the same stuff too, but not like these ladies do, if you know what I mean. Like, these ladies are talking about different problems than those guys are.
Less than a servant, just an appendage, live to attend him so that he never lifts a finger. 24/7 baby machine, so he can live out his picket fence dreams. It's not an act of love if you make her, you make me do too much labor. All day, every day, therapist, mother maid, nymph, then a virgin, nurse, then a servant, just an appendage, live to attend him so that he never lifts a finger. 24/7 baby machine, so he can live out his picket fence dreams. It's not an act of love if you make her, you make me do too much labor. Wrinkled days in your eyes are bursting. If I love her, I understand it's bursting. Just an
This shit goes, baby. This shit goes.
a whole lot of labor. 24/7 baby machine, so he can live out his picket fence dreams. It's not a size of sauce of your shaker. You make me do too much labor.
Oh man, that was such a cool video too. This was another great video to go with the overall song just in general with this one too. Oh, just so good. Is it gonna be weird, guys? Like when I roll down the streets tomorrow and I put the windows down and I'm bumping this joint, like singing this song. Like, is it gonna be weird for me as a man to just be like vibing to this shit? Honestly, I really don't care. I really don't care. This song goes, man. It goes. This song makes you feel. And when you said, like I said, when you guys said that this was an anthem, I don't know why it didn't really click in my brain that way. I just more or less thought about like this was going to have like a real message of like, yes, this is speaking on behalf of women, right? And it definitely does. It definitely does. It is definitely that women's anthem. It is definitely like that I don't need you in my life anymore. I can do fine without you in my life song. Like that, and comparing it to the idea of labor, the idea of work, labor, having babies. Like she just drops all the bars. Like I love these women who are just like calling all this stuff out. I really do. The fact that it's consistent, like I said, they probably don't even listen to each other's music, but they're talking about the same exact thing. Why is that? Guys, pay attention. One of the things that I did on my live the other day when I ended that, and I wanted to start doing something like this similar in my videos, is to try to leave some sort of like positive message at the end of my videos. And one of the things I thought about, you know, especially with this one, guys, is like, you know, we're kind of running the gauntlet on women, talking about women's struggle right now. And if you're a guy out there listening to this video and you have a special somebody in your life, you know, especially a woman, right? Because, you know, we're talking about women today. If you are a gay man and you have a partner out there, do this as well. But, you know, especially if you have a woman in your life, and if you are a gay man, whoever, what woman's special in your life, whether it's a mom, a sister, or whoever, you know, let them know today how special they are to you and that you recognize the things that they do for you. And don't just tell them that you recognize the things they do for you. Do me a favor and tell them at least one thing that you notice that they do for you and call it out to them by name. And I'm sure it will make a world of a difference in your life and whoever you told that to's life today. I spent way too many years of my life not being the kind of, because I've been very uncomfortable with it for my entire life, and I still am today, where I'm very uncomfortable with receiving compliments. So I tend to give a lot of them. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things that I think that the hardest compliments to give are to the people that need to hear them from you the most. It's the people closest to you. I can give a stranger a compliment all day long, and we all do probably. We all probably click on some video of some stranger, of an artist, or maybe like a reactor like myself, and you say something positive and nice on our videos, but we don't tell people that we love in our lives every day how special they are to us. So I just wanted to encourage everybody today to just, you know, tell that special somebody in your life what it is about that they do and bring to your life that is special. Tell them that you appreciate them for that, and that you recognize that, and that you, and try to make that effort as well to try to just do a little bit more for that person in your life. You know, just it's all about the baby steps and one step at a time. And if you could just make a little bit of a solid effort to just try to think about it, it'll probably make a world of a difference in your life and someone else's life around you. I appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I really enjoyed this song a lot. I'm not sure if all of her music is kind of along this similar subject matter, or of what kind of artist she overall is in general, but I really liked this song that she did with this labor song. It provoked so much thought into my overall just being in this, listening to it in general. And like I said, it just goes, man. It's got a vibe to it, and I'm adding it to my playlist for sure. I'm gonna be that guy that sings this in my car with the windows down. I'm a big fan of rolling my windows down, and I don't try to play my music too loud, guys. I really don't. I try to not play it so the whole neighborhood can hear me. I'll wait till I get out into the more regular parts of the world to play it loud. But I really appreciate you guys for hanging out with me today. If you have not joined the Foxtrot family, there's always room for you. So I'm getting way more into live streaming, so if you see me on there on the live stream, make sure to pop in and say hello. And until next time, Thank you for watching.